Okay, yeah. So the first quiz is gonna have a lot of stuff that's not necessarily directed to you guys. So like fire extinguisher location, eye wash station. You guys aren't gonna be going into lab. Um, so a lot of those questions you're probably not gonna know the answer to. And for this lab, I'll be pretty lenient with the grading, just because I can't like point to something until you know where it is and what have you. But some of the stuff we will go over in the first lab, and it will you'll be able to answer at least those questions correctly. So the course objectives, got a little chat here. I found a lot in the textbook minus the equipment location. Uh, Kayana, is that in respect to the quiz?
Yeah, it's for the quiz.
Okay,
I
and
answered almost all of them for the
oh,
from
really?
the textbook. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, so then there you go. There's a lot of information there. Um, but yeah, so back to the syllabus. So course objectives: solve problems relating to chemical experiments, perform organic laboratory techniques, and understand the theory behind these techniques. Organize and analyze ideas and data relating to chemistry lecture 20 through 30 using logical methods. Understand the chemistry organic, of organic molecules, emphasis on biological molecules, demonstrate knowledge of the application and importance of science and technology, analyze and understand the nature of organic chemical reactions. So yeah, so I don't know if he's talked to you guys at all in class about the lab. Has he talked to anyone, or does anyone know?
Not really. Honestly, I feel really confused about when anything's going to be due for this class or how we're meeting up or anything like that. So all of
Yeah,
this
so
is great.
Yeah, so yeah, and this is all like new to everyone. We're all kind of learning on the fly, So I've had more experience than Dr. Irvin has with teaching online and stuff like that. So I feel like especially for him, like he's still like really new to all this stuff. So the one thing that I'm actually not very clear about, and I need to talk to Dr. Irvin, is what is expected as far as what you're turning in. Because I don't know if he told anyone else this, but he hasn't told me specifically if you're turning like a written lab report, a worksheet. Does anyone know what you're
There's
going to
a
be turning in?
quiz on Canvas.
Yeah. So outside of the quiz though,
No, he hasn't mentioned
or
anything.
the format. Okay. And he hasn't mentioned anything to me either. So, but we'll get through it. Um, so yeah. So like it says here, students are required to put on eye protection as soon as they enter the lab. If that's a question on your quiz, there you go. I know this doesn't pertain to you guys, but it is what it is. Cell phones are not allowed in lab. And this is also just good information just for the future. I don't know if anyone here plans on taking any more labs. I can't imagine they'd all be online next semester, but if you do take an in-person lab, this is all just good information. So, have you guys, has anyone here not taken a lab at Texas State before? Is this their first lab? So everyone's taken a lab before. Okay, so you guys should already know pretty much most of this stuff. Uh, so anyway, pre-lab preparation. Priority schedule lab students should review the previous week material studied, experiment to be performed, and complete the pre-lab assignment found at the back of every laboratory module. Also, for everybody that's bought a lab manual, I was talking to another IA, and he told me that you guys already have the quizzes in your lab manual. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. So I feel like these quizzes should probably be pretty easy then, since you already have them and you can, look ahead and answer them, prior to them being up on Canvas. Because yeah, he wanted to do some like live proctoring where I watch you guys, um, on Zoom. I take your quiz, but that doesn't make no sense. So, nah. And then the lecture, um, So yeah, so then so for next week and after that, you know, I'll lecture on the lab, and I will hold on a second. I got a message from Ashley. It says, "Is the bookstore stocked now with the manuals?" I do not know. I would call the a bookstore and ask them if they have any more lab manuals. And for you guys that don't have lab manuals, I believe Dr. Irvin will post a lab manual for each week. I think the one that's on Canvas, you guys should be able to see it now.
Yeah.
All right, and also just for future reference, I don't need you guys to like speak up, you know, because I'm normally not going to have you guys like have your little videos on, but I need you guys to at least like speak up because I can't, you know, keep looking and seeing who's nodding and or whatever. Um, so yeah, the experiment will be performed. Obviously, this will not be happening. And then you guys will have some post lab questions that you'll have to answer that are due. I guess they'll be due at the start of the next lab. At least that's how we did it in OChem, like regular OChem. So yeah, and it says there are 10 labs with 30 points each. There's 5 points for personal assessment. So yeah, I do, you know, want you guys to be like, you know, somewhat engaged. I don't expect you guys to be talking like all the time, and I'll be asking a ton of questions, but you know, here and there I might ask a question, or I'll ask someone to, you know, tell me like what we're doing, you know, for the day, you know, so just like come to lab or come to the Zoom lecture prepared, just to answer any kind of questions that you would think you'd have to answer. And then there's a final exam, and I believe the final exam will be a Zoom proctored exam. I don't know if he's going to set up like a room where you guys can go and take the exam, but that's a little bit down the road, and we'll go back to that as the class goes on. Also, I don't know if it's on here or not, but just keep in mind. Oh, here it is. Yeah, like the drop dates and stuff like that. In case like you're not doing well in the class, which I can't imagine anyone not. I mean, anyone taking a Zoom class online knows that, you know, this is really easy. Like I feel like Zoom classes are much easier than in person, especially labs. And then yeah, if you have any kind of special needs or anything like that, make sure you guys tell Dr. Irvin and the ADA, you know, right away. Get the letter from them, because we won't be, you know, providing any extra accommodations if you don't have that documentation provided. So I'm just gonna go through the first lab with you guys, just like the lab manual page. And you guys can all see the lab manual page, right? Okay. So yeah, laboratory techniques, safety precautions. You guys know that you always have to wear our goggles. Are glasses good substitutions for goggles? Yes or no? Anyone can just answer
No.
yes or no.
No.
Right? No. Okay. Right. So yeah, you should wear, you know, goggles that go all around your eyes, and also protect the sides of your eyes. For people who have long hair, what do you guys normally do with your long hair?
Tied up.
Tied up, right? Exactly. Perfect. You know, do we wear flip-flops into lab?
No.
No. Do we wear, okay, should we wear leggings to lab?
No,
No, and why not?
so they can go
Yeah.
through the interior of the chemicals.
Right, exactly. Should we be putting our heads into the fume hoods if there's, you know, a volatile, you know,
No.
chemical in there? No, right?
No.
Okay.
Right.
If you guys were to open a container on the bench top and it smelled like really bad and made you nauseous, what should you do with that chemical?
Inform the professor. first.
Yeah, but what should you do like right away? Like if you open it up and it smells terrible,
You should close it.
to close it, right? And then probably like put it in the fume hood, and then for any future use, open it in the fume hood. You know, because a lot of times students in the lab will take things out and they'll, like leave it on the bench top for whatever reason, and then you'll think, oh, it's on the bench top, I can just open it here, but really it needs to be back in the fume hood. You know, if that ever, and that's normally like during the lab time. Of course, we try to tell you guys if it's in the fume hood, it's in there for a reason, to not take it out, but things happen. Do we ever eat anything in the lab? I know sometimes if things do smell good and they smell sweet, but do we ever try and see like, oh, it smells sweet, so we should try and see if it tastes sweet?
No.
No, right? Okay. And then if you guys were to get into get something on your skin that burns, like an acid or something like that, what should you do right away once that acid comes in contact with your skin?
Wash it off.
Rinse it.
Rinse it, right? Rinse it for about how long, do you think?
I think it said 20 minutes. In the
That
book.
seems excessive, but if that's what it said, then yeah, sure, 20
Yeah.
minutes. I would personally say about 30 to 45 seconds, but
But I think it says like a small burn in the book. It's like for 20 minutes. Rinse
okay,
it.
yeah. If it like burns you out, I mean, if it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes, but that seems a bit excessive. Do we ever work alone in the lab?
No.
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 And this is like not related to the what's it called to this, but is anyone here like gonna be going on to like a PhD or like a master's in research? Is anyone here doing that, or are you guys all like pre-med and pre-PA? Like, I don't know like who takes 2130 and 2330.
I will be.
You'll be going into research?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your major?
Biology micro.
Oh, okay. So that's why we're taking this 2330. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, for a lot of you guys that aren't going to be going into lab or going into research, this isn't really all that fun. But for you, I guess this will be good stuff. Yeah, use a fume hood when necessary. So when you guys want to find out about a chemical, like, hey, is it flammable? Is it toxic? Is it, corrosive? You guys want to look at what's called a material safety data sheet. And I believe ours is located in the stock room. I don't think every lab comes equipped with one. I might be wrong about that, but I believe that we only have one, and it's in the stock room. And yeah, so anytime you ever dispose of anything in lab, make sure that you're actually using the right container. A lot of times things are separated by one container being for organic material and the other being for inorganic material. And yeah, if we ever come across broken glass, what do we do with that glass? Like, do we just pick it up with our hands, or anyone can answer?
Sweep up.
Okay, I need other people to start answering instead of this. Whoever's answering. What's your name? Who's answering?
Sean.
John.
Notify the instructor.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Notify the instructor. But yeah. Also, if the instructor is occupied, well, actually, no. Notify the instructor because no one should be sweeping it up other than the instructor, actually. So, yeah. So yeah, if you guys were to be in lab and you have bins and you got like piece of glassware and it was chipped or was like hazy or looked like it was like still dirty, take that back to the stockroom and let them know at the beginning of the lab, because if you were to return that back, they would make you pay for it. Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty much common sense. Don't touch things that are hot. So when you insert a glass stopper into something, this is something that is actually like a big one. Is when you're running something and there's like a pressure already built up into like a system, and you try to put a stopper on it, that might cause like too much pressure in that piece of glassware, and it'll blow up. And also same thing too with like taking things off that are full of like like a gas, and it's if you were to like pull that off, it might cause the stopper to just like shoot out. So just be careful when using those things. A lot of times too, if you have to heat something up and you have to use a glass stopper, a lot of times we'll put grease around the rim of where the glass stopper goes, to keep it from sort of like heating and like fusing together. The grease keeps that from happening. So handling chemicals. If we ever run out of something that, so a lot of times we'll take a big jug of something like acetic acid or something like that, and we'll sort of like partition that into a smaller glass beaker. If that smaller glass beaker were to run out, do we fill that back up on our own, or do we ask the instructor to fill up that glass beaker?
Ask the instructor first.
Okay, sure, exactly. I mean, you specify concentration or form. So yeah, if it asks you to use 0.02 molar acetic acid, and don't use like the 50 molar concentration one, normally they'll just dilute that down to make whatever you guys need to use for that particular lab. So don't ever use, you have what's called a stock, and you have a stock solution and a working solution. So your stock solution will normally be a very like high concentration, and your working solution will be a very low concentration or lower. So if it's in a big jug, that's typically going to be your stock solution. So here's the NFPA symbol. You have the little diamond shape, the top one flammability, reactivity, toxicity, reactive. So yeah, clean up spills immediately. If it's a large spill, let your instructor know. So this is a big one too for using a dropper. So if you're using a dropper in a like small dropper bottle, if you were to have your beaker in this hand and your dropper in this hand, you wouldn't touch the tip to the beaker, so you don't want to I want to say infect, but that's not the word I'm looking for. You don't want to contaminate your working solution or the dropper bottle with anything that might be in your beaker. Also too, I know sometimes that in the lab you'll have to use a pipette to transfer liquids. We try not to use plastic a pipette, to try to use glass, because sometimes the chemicals that you'll use will the plastic will like melt with glass. It's not reactive. So yeah, it says do not pipette directly from a reagent bottle. I'm guessing that means to transfer it to a smaller, container, like just, partition some off. So kind of like what they're doing here. And then, pipetting from there. Not really sure why. I guess, again, like this is probably just an aliquot of what the class will need for the day. So if everybody needs, 5 mils of something, and there's 5 groups, we'll pour, 25 mils into the beaker, and take it from there. But as far as like contamination, that's not really like the issue, unless it's like from a big jug. Never seen this before. Don't know. This looks like a burette, but I don't know who pipettes like this. We use like automatic pipettes. Yeah, heating liquids. Don't ever hold the thing that you're heating because you'll burn your hand. There's a container for solids. Rolling your solid container around, I guess, to get a more efficient pour. Yeah, so burns, yeah, continue flushing for 20 minutes. Yeah, if it's not burning, but you're still like, just go ahead and rinse it for like 30 to 45 seconds. And I think you have to file an incident report at some point. Yeah, and then if you were to get in your eyes, you use an eye wash station. Of course, if you guys ever have any kind of injury, you would let your instructor know, and they would take care of it from there. So does anybody have any questions? Because that's pretty much it for this lab for today.
No.
Nothing? Okay. And then, so for the next lab, I do have that poll on the group me. So hopefully everyone that's in there has already picked a time. So if everyone who didn't pick, so right now I think Friday at 2 o'clock is the time that most people have picked. There's, I think Tuesday at 11 is like pretty like close second. So if everyone here that didn't pick Friday at 2 p.m., would it be impossible for you to go at Friday at 2 p.m.? So please, if you didn't pick Friday at 2 p.m.
I do have a class that starts at 3:20, and I don't think I'm in the group me yet.
Okay.
I joined late.
Okay, I can post the link. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay.
I'll post the link in the Zoom chat real quick.
Thank you.
And then you guys can join. So yeah, if you have class at 3:20, I mean, you should be able to make the lab at 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let me post a link. So yeah, so there should be a link now in the Zoom chat, and for everyone else who hasn't joined yet, go ahead and click that link and join and vote for your time. So anybody, did everybody else that's here pick Friday at 2 p.m.?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I chose Tuesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah, I chose Tuesday as well.
okay, so for people that chose the Tuesday time, could you not come on Friday at 2 p.m.?
It's kind of hard because I work on Fridays as well.
Okay.
I was using Tuesdays because you said 11, and it was like closer to my lunchtime, so
Okay.
that's why I was.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to see with Dr. Urban what we want to do with students that can't make it to the Friday time. But again, like, that just doesn't seem fair to everyone. with, having to go or not go. We might end up doing it where there is no live, or there is a Zoom and it's optional, and I just, record it and post it. It might be more for like having you guys come and ask questions. But I will only answer questions during that time. So, on the group me chat and over email, that'd be kind of like the trade-off, but it's still work in progress. Because again, that might not be very fair either, but we got to try to do something. So yeah, if anybody, if no one else has any questions, then have a good weekend, and I will get in contact with you guys all soon.
Hey, Mr.
All right.
Thank you
Belknap.
very much.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Belknap. This is Kimberly. So I accidentally, when we had started the class, I was looking at the quiz, and I didn't know that it was. I mean, I assumed it was timed, but I didn't. It had logged me out anyways because it was past 20 minutes, and I only got through half of it. So, is there any way that I could redo that? Because I didn't even answer like half of the questions. So.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah, if anyone else got like logged out or anything like that, I can reset it and give you one more attempt.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, just so I'm clear, so you are going to